Kyler's out there, do you see like everybody's level rise in a way?
Yeah, there's no doubt. I mean, he's the leader of this franchise. You know, we're about to make him, like, I'm sure the highest paid player of this franchise history, and so he understands what comes with that, and the guys know what he can be at his best, and anytime we can get the whole band out there, things pick up.
When do you expect that contract to be done?
I'm praying before training camp.
Kyler's contract being such a story that's kind of been hovering, what will it mean to eventually get it done? How much are you personally looking forward to that?
Yeah, I mean, I just try to control what I can control, but I think Steve, myself, Michael, we all understand what he can be and where we want to take this thing with him as our leader. And so I think it'll be great energy for this entire organization when that's wrapped up.
Kliff Kingsbury doing a great job of applying the brakes to his mouth as he was saying, we're about to make him the highest paid
contract
player in franchise history.
Yeah,
player in franchise history.
Good. That sounds good.
Crisis averted. We're about to make him. And see, they're both represented by the same guy. That's what makes this so fascinating. Kliff Kingsbury and Kyler Murray have the same age and Eric Burkhart. So, Kliff, I assume he is Switzerland in these negotiations, but he also knows what's going on because he's praying they get this done by the time camp starts. I suspect that from time to time he asks his agent for any updates about the effort to get a contract for Kliff Kingsbury's starting quarterback so they don't have to worry about a holdout. They don't have to worry about a hold-in. That's the other thing you got to worry about. A T.J. Watt situation where he shows up, he's not fined, but he's not practicing, so he's not getting ready for the season. So he said a lot there, and the bottom line is he's in a position to know what's going on. It sounds like they're working toward getting something done. And I also think that, and this is more of a guess than anything, but I think it flows from the fact that it was pretty clear that if somebody wanted to try to make a play for Kyler Murray, he was out there, he was available. Not that the Cardinals were necessarily going to do it, but at least you can try. At least you can try to pry him free, and nobody tried. I think they got the message that there won't be a land rush of teams for Kyler Murray. There are teams, as you've said, that will want nothing to do with him just because of his height. He's got to take what he can get from the team that currently is willing to extend him. The question is coming up with a number that works for both sides.
Yeah, that's right. It's got to make sense. But you know, as we've talked about, he's got a lot of power and say in the situation because they've built the team around him and his skill set. And I think, again, like what you're saying, the connection with Kliff Kingsbury, to me, is why I guess I don't worry about this situation a whole lot because, yeah, all right, Kliff's going to be able to, oh, wait, okay, agent saying this, my agent, who's also Kyler Murray. Oh, wait, team saying this. I think he's going to be able to bridge the gap a little bit and, you know, kind of nudge things down the road a little bit to where that's where – you know, I have faith that it gets done. And to what Kliff was saying there, too, like, you know, he prays before camp. That's the other reason I think he's going to nudge us down. He doesn't want to be starting training camp, having to deal with this. This is a big year. You know, it is. They definitely – people expect more from the Cardinals this year. People expect more at the end of the year. Let's not have a meltdown. And so to start the year off by, wait, our quarterback's not here or he's holding in like you're saying, and we have to answer these questions all the time, and we play in arguably the best division in football, like that's just not a recipe for success. So, of course, he wants that done, but I do think this is one where it gets done, you know, the last minute, last few days before training camp, we get the news of Kyler Murray's new contract.
And we hear this all the time. It's a deadline-driven business. And if the deadline is start a training camp, that's the practical deadline. Is he going to show up or not show up? That's when they get it done. That's when both sides move to their bottom line position. That's why we say deadlines spur action, because this applies in any type of negotiation. If one side moves toward its best position and the other side knows there's still time, that's just more time for the other side to squeeze the other side off of its best position. That's why you need to know where is that moment where we must make a decision, and do both sides agree? Remember the Russell Wilson 3 years ago?
Yeah.
When he said to the Seahawks, I want this deal done by April 1. And both sides regarded that as the deadline, and they got the deal done. They believed him when he said it. And who knows what would have happened if they hadn't done the deal by April 1, but that's what he told them, and they believed it, and they heeded it, and they acted on it. So you can create an artificial deadline if both sides agree. This is a real deadline. Start a training camp. But yeah, if they don't get a deal done, then the question is, will he hold out or will he hold in? We've seen the hold in, and then maybe the real deadline is the start of the season. But the problem is you want your quarterback involved in practice. Didn't hurt TJ Watt, but he's not the quarterback.
Right, exactly. It's easier to pull that off if you're not the quarterback. Again, TJ Watt doesn't need to practice. He can go over on the side and do drills and, probably do some one-on-one pass rush stuff, and that's good. Okay, and he eliminates, the other 20 guys on the field that might hurt him or whatever. So that's easy. Quarterback, you can't do that. You can't do that, let alone you need to play a little bit in the preseason and get used to, the speed of the game that way. But the reps during training camp are really important. And to your point, yes, that's where you want him. That's where you build, chemistry. That's where you get better with Marquise Hollywood Brown and Rondale Moore going into the second year. And, Zach Ertz, who's still new to the team and being a part of it. So that to me is the success. I'm glad he's there. That's cool to see. I think it's the right thing for sure for him, the team, everything there. I don't think there's tremendous risk for as far as him getting hurt, putting himself in danger's way in a mandatory minicamp. And we'll see where it goes. But I think this is one where I feel like it'll get done.
By the way, one surprise for the Cardinals, veteran center Rodney Hudson, who turns 33 next month.
Yeah, what was that?
Present at the mandatory minicamp, his absence not excused.
Shocked by that.
Kliff Kingsbury said that they're working through some things. We always go straight to the contract. I can't remember exactly what he's due to make this year, maybe $10 million and some change. He was cut by the Raiders 2021, signed fairly quickly with the Cardinals, but he wasn't there. We'll see if they can get that worked out. So that was the surprise for the Cardinals. And there have been a few like, we didn't see that coming. That was one that we hadn't heard there was any consternation about Rodney Hudson and his situation with the Cardinals.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.